Hello students, hope everyone is doing great. So today I'll be discussing about feedback in amplifiers. So first of all, let me tell a story about the feedback. Sometimes you give a feedback to a teacher or someone. That means if you give a positive feedback for that, then the teacher is getting more benefit, means the teacher will give a better output. But when you are giving negative feedback for a teacher, then the teacher has to come up with more efficient, more energy to maintain the same output. Similarly, in amplifiers, I think everyone has the concept. Suppose you have an amplifier and this is input and this is output. This is just a block diagram. So when from the output portion you are taking some energy to the input, then this is a circular way. In that case, it is called feedback. That means some energy from the output is coming to the input portion of the amplifier. So this is called feedback in amplifier. So in a better way, you can say the term feedback implies transfer of energy from the output of a system to its input. If a portion or the whole of a output signal of an amplifier is fed back and superimposed on the input signal, the performance of the amplifier changes significantly. The amplifier is then said to be feedback amplifier. Feedback can be two types. One is called negative feedback, another is called positive feedback, as similar as the real life. So in negative feedback, it is also called degenerative feedback, and positive feedback is also called enhancement feedback or generative feedback. Okay. So what is negative feedback? When the feedback signal diminishes the magnitude of the input signal. That means when the signal from the outside comes to the input and it reduces the input signal, that is called negative feedback. Similarly, when the output signal comes and it adds to the input signal and it more amplifies the input signal, then it is called positive feedback. That is, in negative feedback, the overall gain of the amplifier reduces, whereas for positive feedback, the overall gain increases. In the negative feedback, it decreases. Despite the reduction in the overall gain of the amplifier, negative feedback offers many advantages, and it therefore be extensively used in electronic circuits. On the contrary, positive feedback causes an instability in the gain of the amplifier and distorts the input signal. Therefore, it is not generally used in amplifiers. It is used in oscillators and sometimes in the narrowband amplifiers and radio receivers because it is increasing the signal power. As negative feedback is more important for amplifiers, we will be discussing more and we will be studying more on negative feedback in this chapter. For your information, after this video, in the description box, you can find out the PDF version of this lecture. That means the notes of this lecture. So you can write down the notes as well. And for any clarification, you can follow the video from beginning to the last of this lecture. Now we will discuss about the transfer gain of a feedback amplifier. So for this purpose, let us consider the figure shown in the block diagram. Here it is consists of a basic internal amplifier A and a feedback network. The transfer gain of the internal amplifier is A equals to V0 by Vi. That is the output voltage divided by the input voltage, where Vi is the input voltage and V0 is the output voltage. The feedback network can contain passive elements like resistors, inductors or capacitors, and active elements like transistors. as a portion Vf equals to beta V naught is extracted from the output voltage V naught and added to or subtracted from the externally amplified input signal voltage Vs by the feedback network. The input voltage of the basic amplifier is thus Vi equals to Vs plus minus Vf. That is, if the positive feedback is happening, that is Vi equals to Vs plus Vf, and if negative feedback is happening, then Vi equals to Vs minus Vf. The fraction beta equals to Vf by V naught is known as the feedback fraction, the feedback ratio, or the reverse transfer ratio, or the reverse transmission factor. These terms are very important, should not be confused. That's why I am telling again. Beta is known as feedback fraction or the feedback ratio, or sometimes it is called the reverse transfer ratio or the reverse transmission factor. The whole system in the dashed box in figure constitutes the feedback amplifier. The transfer gain AF of the feedback amplifier is the ratio of the output voltage V0 to the externally applied input voltage Vs. So you can understand what is Vs, that is the externally applied input signal voltage. So you should not be confused with Vi and Vs. Therefore, we can write AF equals to V0 divided by Vs. If Vi equals to Vs minus Vf, then what we can write? V0 equals to A into Vi equals to A Vs minus Vf. And already we know Vf equals to beta into V0. Okay, so that's why we can write from this equation V0 into 1 plus A beta equals to A Vs. Clear? That's why we can write AF equals to V0 by Vs equals to A by 1 plus A beta. That is very much important. Let me write again. AF equals to A by 1 plus A beta. Okay. In the absence of any feedback, that means there is no feedback, it is not connected to the feedback network, then beta equals to 0. So what we will get? AF equals to A. Thus, A represents the transfer gain without feedback. The quantity minus A beta is termed the loop gain because it gives the product of the gains of the branches making up the loop. It is also called the feedback factor. So, and sometimes it is also called the return ratio or the loop transmission. So what we got? Minus A beta is loop gain. So this A minus A beta, if we difference from the 1 minus A beta, then what we will get? 1 plus A beta. This is also an important quantity. So this quantity is referred to as the return difference. This is called return difference. So in your exam, in different way, these terms can be asked. So what if some amp A is given, one beta is given. So if you are asked to find out what is the return difference, you have to use 1 plus A beta. For negative feedback, you must remember. Now we'll see what it does signifies when 1 plus a beta is greater than 1 and 1 plus a beta is less than 1. That means when 1 plus a beta is greater than 1, mod of AF is less than A. From the equation you can see, from this equation you can see. So which characterizes the negative feedback when AF is less than A, that is the negative feedback. Similarly here it is the opposite case, AF greater than A, which characterizes the positive feedback. Here on another important aspect is there, number third criteria, when 1 plus A beta is equals to 0. What does it signify? It signifies AF equals to infinite. From the equation you can find out AF equals to infinite. That means your feedback amplification, the amplifier gives an output signal even if there is no input signal. That means if there is no input signal, you are getting some output signal. The amplifier then becomes an oscillator. That is another condition. We'll learn more about this in the oscillation chapter. So hope you are understanding. If you have any confusion arises in your mind or you cannot clarify yourself, you just comment in the comment box so that I can give you more better way to understand. So now we'll discuss about different types of feedback, how those feedback can be constructed with different circuit diagrams. So I have termed this problem as a feedback network types. So we can make it two types basically. One is called voltage sampling. Another is called current sampling. Now, what does it mean by voltage sampling? So, for this, for clarification, I will take one block diagram of internal amplifier which has two output ports and two input ports. Okay. Now, what does it mean by voltage sampling? When the feedback network is taken the input from the output of the amplifier A with parallel connection. Okay, that is shunt. Parallel connection means this is parallel connection. This you can see parallel connection. In that case, it is called shunt with the output or voltage sampling. So if you have this feedback network beta, this is called voltage sampling. That is, it doesn't depend on the how you are connecting to the input. Sampling means how you are taking from the output. Okay. Now this type of circuit can be two types. One is called series mixing with the input. So when it is series mixing, you can mix it with the series like this. So number one, this is number 1, this is number 2, and number 1.1 is your voltage sampling series input. Okay, that is called connected shunt with the output but connected series in the input. So this type of circuit is called series mixing with the input circuit. That is voltage series circuit, called voltage series feedback network or feedback circuit. Feedback network. Number 1.2 will be like this. This is your block diagram of the amplifier. This is your output. You are taking shunt connection from the output, that is called voltage sampling. You are giving parallel connection to the input, that is called shunt mixing with the input. So this is called voltage shunt feedback network. Okay, I hope you are understanding. So feedback networks are two types. One is called voltage sampling. This is called voltage sampling. This is two are same. You can say similar, but input is different. Two inputs are different. So first input is series connection. That's why voltage series. Second is your shunt connection input. That's why it's called voltage shunt. Similarly, for the current sampling, there are two types. Number one is current series feedback or current sampling series mixing. So let's draw the figure. Current sampling means it will come like this from the output. This is current sampling. Okay. And again series mixing. So you can see current sampling is like this, but voltage sampling is like this. That's why it is current sampling. This is voltage sampling. So current sampling, series mixing. Series mixing is like this. This is called current series feedback network. Number 2.2 is current sampling and shunt mixing. Shunt. So here you can see from the output current is coming and input parallel connection is there. That's why it is called current shunt feedback network. These are the basic four types of sampling networks. One is called voltage sampling, another is called current sampling. So in voltage sampling, two types: voltage series, or it is called voltage sampling series mixing. Number two is voltage sampling shunt mixing. Here in the current you can see current sampling series mixing. Number 2.2 is current sampling shunt mixing. Okay, where these are the main amplifier and this is the feedback network A beta. Now first of all we'll see how these circuits are working. Suppose this one, voltage sampling series mixing network, how it works and how the currents are coming and how it is sampling to the mixing to the input. Okay, let's start. So first we are starting voltage series feedback or voltage sampling series mixing. That means from the output voltage is coming and to the input series wise it is mixing. So you can see the block diagram of that feedback network where A is the internal amplifier and whereas beta is the feedback network. Here V0 is the output voltage connected towards the load resistance RL. And here VF is the feedback voltage and Vs is the input source signal, okay, supplied signal or source signal, and Vi is the input voltage. Now we can write from this diagram the input voltage to the transistor is Vi equals to Vs minus Vf. So because of negative feedback, the negative symbol is here. So already I told where Vs is the externally applied input signal voltage. Therefore Vi equals to we can write Vs minus beta V naught. We already know, since beta equals to Vs Vf by V naught. Clear? Therefore we can write V naught by A equals to Vs minus beta V naught. Since A equals to V naught by Vi. Now here what we are getting, V naught equals to A Vs minus A beta V naught. So V naught, if you take common, 1 plus A beta equals to A Vs. So V naught equals to A Vs divided by 1 plus A beta. Therefore the overall gain AF equals to A by 1 plus A beta, since AF equals to V naught by Vs. Now you follow the second figure where the transistor is in CE configuration, that means common emitter configuration, where Vi is between the point B and E. RB is the input resistance, and we are measuring the output voltage to E and downside. Okay. Now for this configuration you have to remember that A equals to HFE RL divided by HIE. That you can learn in the transistor hybrid model in CE configuration, what is the value of A. Alright. Now if you put this value of A in AF, then you will get the value AF equals to HFE RL divided by HIE plus HFE RL. That you have to calculate putting the value of A in the equation, this equation. So for today we are concluding the lecture. In the next lecture we will discuss about the other networks, and be connected and stay safe at home. Thank you so much.